It's time to head towards the mighty White Ferns and we go on to the New Zealand women's team squad analysis. And I have Deepu with me. Deepu, welcome to the show. It's the 2024 T20 World Cup champions who are looking good, have that experience in this side. First of all, before we begin anything, let's take a look into the New Zealand squad. And here it is: Sophie Devine, Susie Bates, Eden Carson, Flora Devers, Izzy Gaze, Maddie Green, your Brooke Halliday, your Brie Illing, Polly Inglis, Bella James, Emilia Kerr, Jess Kerr, Rosemary Mayer, Georgia Plummer, and Lee Tahu. Now, if you look into this side, Deepu, first of all, more or less it's the same, more or less the same players that were part of the winning side who won the championship, the 2024 T20 World Cup in the UAE. Is the same squad. Sophie Devine is there, Susie Bates is there. It's almost coming to an end in the international career too. Thoughts on how you see New Zealand?
I think it's a great squad. Obviously, as you stated, that both Bates and Devine are on the verge of on the end of their careers. So yeah, it's a great chance for them for Sophie Devine to to be crowned as the ODI World Cup champions, which is obviously the best tournament and one of the biggest prizes, even bigger than the T20 tournament. So yeah, their eyes will be set. And given that that tournament they won in Asia, and this one also, it's happening in the Asian conditions,
Correct.
and they play in the WPL as well, so they have their fair share of experience playing in these venues. Even though the WPL hasn't reached there, but still the pitches around the country are same. So yeah, it's a really good squad, and they have a great chance of going into the knockouts and perhaps even winning.
Absolutely. You said about WPL, you said about
Yeah.
it's a very good point mentioned about winning the T20 World Cup also in Asian conditions, and they play the World Cup in Asian conditions. But Susie Bates, the veteran, alongside Sophie Devine, we all know when it comes to New Zealand women's cricket, these two were the pillars. They're both carrying strong energy. Could this lead to the shared inspiration you feel, Deepu, or occasional clashes of vision? Because sometimes your strength can be your weakness.
With New Zealand, they keep themselves going, and that sense of friendship is there. That they what they'll do is they'll benefit the team. It's not about personal milestones in this lineup, be it in the men's, be it in the women's camp.
Correct.
I think I don't see any vision of
Correct.
clashes, even though there will be there because both are different individuals. But the team has done well in the T20I format. Yes, as it's mentioned that in the World Cup stages, ODI World Cup, they finished in the group stages, but it was a young
Yeah.
New Zealand squad. This is quite experienced. We
Indeed.
know how, yeah, we know how
Indeed, it's
the
it's a very young side, but this time it's an experienced bunch of players. As I said before, some of the players were part of the T20 World Cup squad. But as you were saying about the seniors, these two especially, can this carry the weight of making this campaign feel the last chance for especially the two names we have mentioned?
Yeah, it's going to be their last, given that next will be around 29. So obviously they won't be around there, especially Sophie Devine. It's crucial for her, given that
Yeah, yeah.
she's an all rounder, and we don't know how much time is left. Susie Bates already stepped down as captain for the ODI format. So yeah, that indicates that that retirement is looming large on her. So yeah, it's the best chance for them to actually go all out and win this cup, and the conditions also favor
Absolutely.
this.
Absolutely, it's their best chance to go all out and do it for this sides. Two experienced pros knows the conditions through thick and thin, and as you said, both of them have been part of the WPL too, so they knew the Indian conditions pretty well. But moving on to the squad more ahead, I think at the top of the order, if you see, Georgia Plummer has been in red hot form in the recent past. Such a youngster, wonderful
Yeah.
batter. Cal Herb, that she has that fearless nature at the top of the order. When you have Georgia Plummer giving you that blazing start alongside Susie Bates, being typical Susie Bates being the anchor. You think that top order, especially the two openers, do they have a really good combination, communication, and balance?
Oh, absolutely. I remember the tour last time they came to India post the World Cup, just after
Yeah,
the right after the World Cup, and Plummer was going aggressive in those Indian conditions. We had different venues over there. Ahmedabad was one of them. So yeah, I think even in the World Cup she was quite aggressive. Whereas we know how Bates plays. So I think it's a great combination of caution with aggression. So yeah, I think it will be a good partnership to look at when the World Cup starts.
it definitely should be a very good partnership to look at. But talking about the skipper herself, you said about Susie Bates a lot, but Sophie Devine, when you talk about New Zealand cricket, she comes right up there. And as you said, Susie Bates has not been the captain. She's left it to Sophie Devine now, who has not had a very good success in terms of win percentage in this format. 49 matches, just 17 victories for Sophie Devine under her captaincy. But her leadership has a little bit of energy in commanding, as well as she's a very bold captain. Your thoughts about how she communicates with the players. Do you think with her nature, while the others are pretty young, mixture of youth and experience, do you think that leaves a little bit of communication gap, or you think Sophie Devine knows everything?
I think she knows most of the things, if not everything, given that she is a T20 World Cup champion, led the side brilliantly in UAE, and obviously this will be Asian conditions too. And she has that. She's kind of a Kane Williamson type of a captain who
Yeah,
won't say much,
true.
but is tactically very brilliant, which we have seen I think around at MI as well. Whenever she has helped Harmanpreet Kaur, most of the times she has ended up winning. So yeah, I think that they will be good to go. And obviously, she's an all-rounder, so a lot of responsibility falls on her shoulders, given that it's one of the mega events.
100%. A lot of responsibility definitely falls on the shoulders of the skipper herself. But last two times New Zealand went on to play in the Cricket World Cup 50 over, 2022 group stage, 2017 group stage. But as you said, once again, now it's a very good side, good looking side. Do you expect a better performance this time around?
Yeah, definitely. Given that 22 was at their home, it was played in New Zealand, and still them, finished in the group stage. That was quite disappointing to see. Even in England, at that time they were quite young. But this time
Yep,
around, I think they have a more experienced squad with Leah Tahu being the chief wrecker in the bowling
absolutely.
department, along with Amelia Kerr, who knows the conditions inside out, playing for MI. So yeah, I think they have a
Mhm.
great squad coming up, and yeah, I think I'm seeing them in the knockouts.
You're definitely seeing them in the knockouts, but I'll come to you in terms of the predictions as the show progresses. But at the
Yeah.
moment, talking about the fixtures of the New Zealand women, they start with a blockbuster clash in match number two against the mighty Aussies. Then they move on to face South Africa, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and then an Asian side, ending with the last two being India and England. Not an easy start when you're playing Australia and ending with England. Your thoughts on this one? Because in between you will play a few Asian sides who also know the conditions really well. Four back-to-back opponents are Asian sides for New Zealand, so they're not having an easy game, easy run of fixtures where you can say okay they can win this one or maybe a couple of the wins on the bounce. But all the fixtures look very very tough.
Yeah, indeed. Even playing Australia first step, and given that they don't have a great record at all against Australia, which is one of the
Yep.
invincible sides in the tournament, and one of the favorites too. So yeah, they have a very tough start. South Africa, they were the finalists in the T20 World Cup. So again,
Yeah.
tough
So
game
the
to be
first two
honest.
fixtures are them. Yeah.
It's absolutely tough, and as you mentioned that it will be Asian conditions, so even the Asian nations won't be easy, including Bangladesh and Sri Lanka too. But obviously, the nature of the wickets is going to be
Yeah.
batting friendly. But as the tournament progresses on, it's going to be wear and tear. So it's going to be tough for New Zealand, and
Yeah.
they'll also be
100%.
traveling to Sri Lanka for that one odd game against Pakistan. So it's not easy,
Yeah.
but they have the squad, I believe.
Okay, they definitely do have the squad according to you. But after discussing about the batting department, it's going to be really interesting to discuss about the bowling department. Though you mentioned about Lee Tahu, one of their most experienced in that seaming attack. Jess Kerr is there, Rosemary Mayer is there. Can they show a little bit of discipline, especially with the new ball? Because we know they have the experience, they have the skill sets. Can they provide regular breakthroughs, which is going to be important for Sophie Devine?
Yep, that's going to be the main thing, given that it will be their first World Cup for I think for Rosemary Mayer in terms of the 50 overs World Cup, whereas Liata who has played I think two or
Yeah.
three. So yeah, she's going to be the leader of the pack. So yeah, it's quite a young seam attack, but still I think they have got great guns, and obviously Sophie Devine, being the all rounder, she's also do some pace bowling. So yeah, I think the bowling is covered, but yes, Spain. I think Spain is going to be key, which they have Amelia Kerr and Jessica to the Kerr duo. I think the bowling is covered. It's just that how they click up as a team. That's going to be the main thing.
100%. You need to click as a team, and especially in such tough conditions where you're not playing regular cricket, you need to play as a unit and as a collective group to perform really well. And it's a long tournament. You have to play each and every opponent at least once in the group, so you need to have that momentum of winning games on the trot. But players to watch out for, Deepu, I've gone with my three players to watch out for: Sophie Devine, Emilia Kerr, Georgia Plymmer are my three players to watch out for. Any different? I've not gone with Susie Bates or Lita. Who does that surprise you?
See, I had one. I had both Georgia and Sophie, but now that you have gone and I have that trend of going different from you, so I'll go with Bits. I'll go with Tahu, and I want to see Isabel Gaze, the wicket keeper. I have heard of her,
So you don't go with Emilia Kerr.
No, I'm not going with Amelia Car. I wanted to go different this time around. So yeah, I
Okay,
mean, we
so
know
the
how
trend
pyrotechnic.
continues.
So
So the
yeah,
trend
that trend
continues of Deepu not going with me in terms of the players to watch out for. You're going with your three players, but now I
yeah.
can ask you openly in terms of this that is Amelia Kerr the backbone of this New Zealand side?
Well, definitely. In terms of spin bowling, she is. In terms of lower order batting, she is. Given that how well she can bat, she deserves to bat up a little bit up the order. But given that how
Yeah, 100%.
the batting fulcrum is there in this lineup, she has to bat lower down. But yes, in terms of a finisher, I think she needs to bat just a little bit high up the order, and obviously she's holding that lower middle order. So yeah,
Yeah, we have seen
she's
that in the recent past that she's getting an opportunity to bat higher up the order, but we need to see that in a consistent basis for New Zealand,
yeah.
even if you have the full strength side. But Eden Carson, on the other hand, pretty much similar to how Emilia Kerr bowls, but very effective spinner.
So yeah, comparing both the spinners, I think Amelia just has a little bit of more pace as compared to Eden Carson. I think she bowls a little bit slow, even though once
Okay,
the tournament goes on, she'll be dynamic too. But I don't see her playing
100%.
in the first 11 as of now, because obviously for Amelia she can bat, whereas Eden cannot bat that much. So yeah, that's the reason that Amelia starts for me.
Okay, what about the youngsters? Because I can see a couple of youngsters in the side in the form of Brie Alling, your Flora as well. They have the flair in them, but fierceness is there too, and they can play some fearless cricket too. But your thoughts on them? Do you think they're going to initially play warm the bench until unless there is any injury scare?
Uh, I don't see them playing from the very first game unless they do something dramatic in the warm-up matches, which are scheduled before the
Correct.
main tournament. So I think it's going to be an experienced tournament. That first 11 definitely looks a lot more lethal, but yes, the bench strength, I think they could have gone on with a little more experience, which I think it is lacking in the squad. But yeah, I think it's good. The first 11 that they've picked is going to be dangerous.
But what we say in Hindi is the khasiyat of a New Zealand side is that they falter against one of the big teams, make it an upset or something like that. Like you said about Australia not having a good record, like New Zealand not having a good record against Australia. Do you think an upset is on the cards when New Zealand fail to win or manage to defeat the likes of either of Australia or India? Will you consider as an upset if New Zealand win against either of the two sides? Similarly, a must-win game, maybe the likes of against a Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, and that New Zealand can end up losing.
So yeah, I'm going to get a lot of bashing on this, but if they beat Australia, it could be an upset. But if they beat us, I don't see it as an upset. The reason being,
Correct.
that both teams
Correct.
are
Correct.
quite poles apart in this thing. Obviously, in the fielding thing, as I pointed out earlier as well, that there's a lot of difference in terms of fielding as well in both the sides comparing to India and New Zealand.
Hmm.
So I'll not consider that as an upset. But if they beat Australia in their first game, they'll be good to go, man. I mean, that will
So
be an
according
upset
to
for
you,
them. Yeah,
if they defeat Australia in the opening game for New
yeah,
Zealand, that will be an upset according to you,
that
not
will be
for
an upset
India.
for them.
Fair enough. But what about the predicted playing 11? Plenty of questions have been asked, plenty of discussions we have had, Deepu. This is the main segment. Let's take a look into the predicted 11. Georgia Plummer and Susie Bates are my opener. Emilia Kerr at number 3. Sophie Devine at 4. Brooke Halliday at number 5. Maddie Green at 6. Izzy Gaze at 7. Then you have Eden Carson, Jess Kerr, Rosemary Mayer, and Lee Tahu are my remaining 4 bowlers. How many changes?
Well, as of now, none. I'll go with the same 11. Obviously, it's a long batting lineup, I think, till number 7, including Gaze. So it's a great batting lineup with Halliday also coming in. She can also,
Hmm.
make the bowlers look tired, the opposition, given that how the nature of her. I think she plays a little bit
Correct.
slower, but yes, she has that controlling game in the middle
Correct.
order. In one of the knocks against India, I saw her batting technique. So yeah,
Yes.
I think they have a great batting order. It's the bowling which has to come. The spin department has to perform to the fullest for the entirety if they are
100%.
looking to claim that title.
100%. They need to play as a unit, as you said, as a collective group, and that's where you come back to saying that if they have to claim the title. But final segment, which is I'm asking you, is that your 4 predicted teams that are making it to the semis.
Australia, England. I think I'll go with New Zealand, obviously, and fourth, obviously, it's going to be India.
Okay, so Australia, England, New Zealand, India. So
Yeah.
what's the reason behind dropping out South Africa?
See, England and Australia are quite, they are two invincible sides. They cannot be dropped off. Even though Australia lost the semi-finals in the T20 World Cup, but obviously the way they are playing in the 3-match ODI series, also they ended up winning it. So they are obviously going to be there. It will be unfair to exclude them. England again, the second best side. New Zealand obviously they have their squad, and they are always taken as the underrated side. Most people don't count them, but they time and again they surprise us. So again, New Zealand was there, so that's the reason. South Africa, it's a great squad,
Okay,
but
so
still not enough.
so you had to leave out one of the others, one of
Yeah,
the big teams, but you've gone
unfortunate.
with your 4 teams.
Yeah,
The champions, the 2000 Cricket World Cup champions are there, which is New Zealand, and we have almost come to an end. And
Yeah.
the squad preview is done and dusted. Thank you so much, Deepu. Thank you to all the viewers for watching this video. Deepu has given his thoughts on the New Zealand women's cricket for the Cricket World Cup. Do let us know your thoughts as well in the comment section. We are building India's smartest cricket community. Subscribe to become a part of it.